Welcome to the Infernal Brotherhood of the scruffy-looking Nerf herders. Today I am reading... I don't know what I'm doing this morning. Today I'm reading Star Wars Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand number 5. If there was a bright center to the universe, the Bavris Tap Cafe on Ifron was very likely the spot it was the furthest from. All right. Criminal affairs don't know where Black Nebula's main rat nest was, neither did Imperial Intelligence. But I've got this appointment schedule I took off Dequoc's courier on Svivran. If I can just poke at the dates and locations hard enough... But then, for Mara, that was precisely the charm of the place. None of Asard's intelligence agents would be likely to bother her in a place like this, and with the silent warning of a Black Nebula knife on display, neither would any of the local toughs. There it is. Finally. Kiax. It has to be Kiax. And if that's Kiax, it has to be the Bubble Cliffs. That's the only place in the system where odd traffic in and out wouldn't be noticed. No. If I'd done my job right the first time, Drigg and Jorshman would still be alive. If for no other reason than that, I owe the universe Dequoc's death. But first, there were a few preparations to be made. A Stokely spray stick, useful for immobilizing an enemy or scaling walls. I wish I had one of my old night fighter combat outfits. Still turned inside out, this jumpsuit ought to do. Perfectly. Exactly the sort of thing a highborn lady of the Empire would be wearing this season. A couple more outfits, plus a liner ticket, and I'll be ready to go. Brace yourself, Black Nebula. Here I come. And finally, on your left, are the famous bubble cliffs of Kiax. Don't be fooled by the distance. Each of these bubbles is actually 5 to 30 meters across. In Kiax's primitive past, these cozy interconnected caves served as cliff-clinging homes for the indigenous peoples. Now many of the old dwellings have been restored for historical purposes, and there are daily airspeeder tours to them. Tours which provide ideal cover for Black Nebula's own flights. This is the place, I write. Now, all I have to do is find a way in. Real people instead of droids. This is an upscale place. Good thing, for I sprang for the fancy clothing.
You're in room 427, Baroness. I trust you'll enjoy your stay here. The restaurants and casino are open dawn to dawn for your convenience. The tours of the famous Bubble Cliffs are also highly recommended.
Thank you. Casino, eh? This has possibilities. An amazingly public place to set up a criminal organization when you think about it. Dequc has more flat-out arrogance than even Vader did. Problem. Wherever he's hiding in there, he isn't going to be easy to find. Solution. Persuade someone to take me to him. In the old days, I would have just gone to the local intelligence bureau and found out who could be bribed or blackmailed. Now, I'll just have to be creative. A little extra wiring in my blaster tech's power pack should work as an impromptu spot welder. Scumlords are generally suckers for glittery bait. This cheap brooch ought to qualify. I need to make a little space inside it, though. Only fitting, really, that Black Nebula should provide me with what I need to take them down. Just a bit. I don't want to blow up the whole casino, especially not with me still in it. Okay, explosive in place. Squeeze detonator in place. Now all I need is a little window dressing for when they sift through the wreckage. Wreckage, like what's left of my life, thanks to Vader and Skywalker. But there's no use crying about it now, no use hanging on to this anymore either. I wonder what the Hutts would pay for a comlink that can hit Imperial military and intelligence frequencies. Almost tempting, but there's more to the Empire than Isan Assad, and the rest of them don't need that kind of trouble. Anyway, I've got a better use for it myself. That should be enough. Now, if I can get all this junk inside the brooch without setting off the explosives, we'll be in business. There. Now put the brooch back together. And there it is. Perfect. Might as well hang on to the second squeeze detonator for now. There should be enough room in the comlink casing to hide it. And all that's left is to key the remote trigger to the frequency of the detonator in the brooch. And it's time for the Baroness Palatone to grace the casino with her presence. Impressive. I've seen casinos on Coruscant that weren't this elaborate. There's no way Dequc would allow a place like this to operate under his nose unless he owned it. This is my ticket in, all right? I'm Baroness Palatone in room 427. I'd like to draw 1,000 in chips against my room.
Certainly, Baroness.
Let's see. What would be best? Sabak is out. I can still pull surface thoughts well enough, but there are too many professional gamblers who can do almost as well. Ditto for Lugjack. Ditto for Tregald. Ah, Spinner Pit. Perfect. That run-in with Assad showed all too well that I've lost most of my ability to affect minds. But then, I was never very good with that particular trick anyway. Moving objects, though, was a different matter. Let's see if it still is.
No further bets, please. "21 is the number, flasks is the suit, and green is the color." Lord Alec pays 21 flasks in green. Thank you, gentle beings.
Yes, it still works. For an hour, she worked the table, using the force to beat the odds, as well as the efforts of the management to make those odds even less favorable to her. Until finally, the response came that she'd been waiting for.
"Excuse me, Baroness. Lord Alec's compliments. He'd like to speak with you in his office."
Certainly. Cash in these chips, if you please. Well, I've stirred the nest all right. I just hope Lord Alec has enough class to listen politely before moving along to the rough stuff. After all, breaking necks isn't a proper part of my persona here.
"Baroness Palatone, come in, please. I trust you've been enjoying yourself."
It's been amusing.
"Amusing and profitable both. You're into the house for nearly 80,000. Which could turn out to be money very dearly bought. You didn't really think I'd let you cheat me in my own casino, did you?"
That's a very serious charge, Lord Alec. Have you any proof to back it up?
"If I were you, Baroness, I'd skip both the coyness and the games. You have no idea who you're dealing with here."
On the contrary, I know precisely who I'm dealing with. It is you who have the wrong impression about me.
"Why, you insolent little—"
She's clean, sir. Yes, what is it? No mags, no skifters, no track trills, not even any power surges. Nothing.
"That's impossible. We know she was cheating."
Of course I was cheating. It seemed the simplest way to get your attention.
"Oh, You have my attention, Baroness. You have my full attention.
Let me assure you,
no one walks in here and plays me for a fool. No one.
man, is this guy a tipped laser cannon? I'm surprised Dequc even puts up with him. On the other hand, maybe that's the type Dequc prefers. I'm sorry you see it that way, Lord Alec. My principals presumed you'd be more interested in purchasing the method I used against you than in defending your pride against non-existent attacks. Apparently, they were mistaken. My apologies. But that's all right. I'm sure there are Hutts who would be willing to talk.
Just a minute. What do you mean, purchase the method?
I mean this device my principals have constructed, and other similar ones. This is what I use to gimmick your spinner pit table. Of course, for the moment, its secrets must remain proprietarily. You understand. Now, while they're all distracted, reach out to that first window and catch. Put. There. Now, if no one notices it's open, we'll be in business. Snick.
You play a dangerous game, woman.
All high-stakes games are dangerous, Lord Alec, but let's scroll to the bottom line, shall we? I represent a corporation that specializes in exotic electronics. With the current political uncertainty on Coruscant, they've become concerned about the stability of this region of space. They've therefore decided to approach some of the other powers in the region to discuss mutually beneficial alliances.
I see. I suppose I should be flattered they considered me one of the great powers to be approached.
Actually, Lord Alec, they're not interested in you at all. I'm here to talk to your partner in this casino, Black Nebula.
I don't know anything about Black Nebula. I certainly have no partners here.
Your mouth says no. You old liar, but your mind says yes. I see again. My mistake. In that case, I'll be on my way. As I said, I know some Hutts who...
No! Wait! Let me make some inquiries. Perhaps I can locate someone from the Black Nebula you can talk with.
Not someone, Lord Alec. I'll discuss this with Dequc himself or no deal. And there. Maybe no deal at any rate, not unless Dequc can convince me that he can properly defend my principles and their interests.
I believe you'll find Prince Dequc more than capable of providing anything you require, if he decides in turn that you're worth his time and effort.
So it's Prince Dequc now, is it? Following along right in Zizor's paw prints. And I thought you didn't know anything about Black Nebula. You really are pathetic at this game. I look forward to our discussion. Shall we say tomorrow morning?
No promises, but I'll see what I can do. Good evening, Baroness, or whoever you are.
What a terribly clever parting line. You really are a waste of skin, Alec. I just hope you're competent enough to get me a hearing with Dequc. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings to a close the first half of this evening's entertainment. Let's hope the second half proves to be equally interesting. I realize it's late, Your Highness, and I apologize profusely, but I thought this matter should be brought to your attention at once.
And while we haven't been able to learn how it worked, we have definitely established that there was an electronic device hidden inside. And you don't believe she was simply lucky with the wheel? Not my wheel, Your Highness. Not a chance. And, as I said, neither is the door sensor nor the hand held picking up a thing. Whatever this device is, it's something completely new. Not first. I want a closer look at what's left of her device. Collect the pieces and bring them to me at once. If I decide I'm interested, I'll accept her suggestion of a morning meeting.
Yes, Your Highness. I'll be there in 30 minutes. These people may indeed be worth a closer look. Come on, Dequc. Say you'll be right over to look at the brooch. Say you'll be right over to look at the brooch. Marpre, get the astral ready. You two, get these pieces together. Ah, well, too bad, but I suppose that would have been too easy. Still, I would hate to have gotten all dressed up for nothing. I wonder if Alec would mind having a passenger along. No, of course he wouldn't, particularly if he doesn't know about it. Nice and quiet. No need to wake any of the guards. Uh-oh, that sounds like Marpre and the turbo lift now. Better hurry. No sign of weapons or fighter protection. That could be handy if I wind up having to make a fast exit. No guards, no surveillance cams, no sensor plates. Dequc is really playing it casual here, though, come to think of it, he may not have much choice. With this rock as smooth as it is, any tampering would be instantly apparent. These cliffs are public attraction, after all, must keep up appearances, which only means that all the security will be further in. And 10 chambers later, she found it. Well, well, I guess Dequoc's security isn't so lax after all. Blasters, stun batons, and knives, they've got the whole range nicely covered. Alec must be a frequent visitor. They're not even bothering to check him out. Through with Simran hit trap where they sniff out weapons and explosives. I guess they can afford to be casual. My lightsaber might be able to sneak through, but I'd hate to bank on that. Let's see. Those glow panels look promising. Now, not enough shadow, though. Means I'll need a diversion. A little unsubtle. In fact, downright crude, but crude usually works with this kind of lowlife. I've seen enough for now. Better get back to that astral and wait for Alec. I just hope his talk with Dequc doesn't take all night. Tomorrow's going to be busy day, and it'd be nice to get a little sleep first. Good morning, Lord Alec. I trust you have news.
I do indeed, Baroness. Prince Dequc has agreed to see you at his headquarters. This is Fitch, an associate of his who will escort you in.
Good morning, Baroness. Prince Dequc was most intrigued by our Lord Alec's description of your activities last evening. May I assume you'll be prepared to duplicate the demonstration? Not that one specifically, but I brought others, all equally intriguing, I assure you. My principals believe variety is more impressive than mere repetition.
It's clean, Fitch. Nothing dangerous, nothing useful either, just a bunch of junk.
Ah, that's the question, Traff, isn't it?
This way, Baroness.
Our airspeeder's waiting on the roof. Lord Alec was rather unclear as to who exactly these principals are you represent. That's because he doesn't know. Neither will Prince Dequc unless we have a deal. And I'll carry the bag if you don't mind.
That's all right, Traff. Let her have it. This way, please.
I should warn you that such bluntness may not play well with Prince Dequc. He's a serious businessman who has his own methods of doing things, and when he wants something, he permits nothing to stand in his way. Yes, I know. Not even a simple harmless cantina owner trying to make a living. Good. That's exactly the sort of person we're looking for. I very much hope we'll be able to do business. This is Black Nebula's reception area and pre-screen comm room. Low power to reports from group leaders come in here for processing. Ah, reception and comm reports in the same area. Not a particularly smart arrangement. Unless they're too cramped for space in there, just as well that I'm hitting them now. They may be moving to larger headquarters soon. Okay, here we go. A couple more steps. Steady. And here we go. Whoa! Ah! Bzzzt. Perfect. Now, if they'll just gape for another 2 seconds, I should have just time to pull this off. Perfect. Now, all I have to do is dazzle Dequc with my magic technology. Oh no. No. It can't be. It's Captain Strock, my liaison with the garrison on Sviverin, when I made my first attempt to kill Dequc. The one living man who can identify me as an Imperial assassin. Thank you all for tuning in. We invite you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell to get notified about our next video. Until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy-looking nerf herders, may the Force be with you.